Hello and welcome to Real Bad News Live. I am Elvis Kennedy and make up. They didn't show up again. Zit intern. Whatever. Okay, I'm Elvis Kennedy and we are going to talk about Grandpa can't drive anymore. And why can't Grandpa drive anymore? Because he's too old. How many states are there? I don't know. I know that my state has it, and I know that in a couple of other states that are not super liberal, blah, 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 controlling states have it. So I'm assuming that California, New York, D.C., and all the other mega liberal controlling places have it too. If you get too old and demented, they take away your driver's license. And if they're going to take away your driver's license, should you really be able to still govern the nation? I'm talking to, let's start out with the small one, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy's 145 years old with an average blood alcohol content of 0.48, which would kill most people except for a couple of homeless guys that live on Sterno, Thin Mints, and the occasional sandwich tossed at them from a freeway overpass. And yet, she's still in control of our future. But if you don't believe about Nancy, you can just Google Dianne Feinstein. It's so bad, it's not even been suppressed by Google yet because it's too obvious and too out there. And I don't know who they want to replace Dianne Feinstein, but if we did, we might know why they've released this information. It's probably someone far to the left of AOC and her ilk. But Dianne Feinstein, the original Beta O'Rourke who was going to grab all your guns, Dianne Feinstein is 88 years old and in a recent interview literally forgot who she was and who she was talking to. Are you from 60 Minutes? Or are you my granddaughter? Had no idea, no clue, and yet she is still running a big part of the People's Republic of California. I got friends in California. I got a bunch of friends in California. And believe it or not, I have conservative friends left in California because they're kicking all their liberals out and they're moving to Austin, which is kind of where I am. And we take them back. You know, Governor Abbott, if you're going to bus illegals to D.C., can you start busing liberal whack jobs who are taking over Texas back to California? Yeah, the bus to D.C., the bus comes back, picks up the liberals, goes to California, back to Texas, repeat, rinse, lather, repeat. And we really can't talk about people who are too old. You know, fortunately for a lot of politicians and a lot of my fellow Americans, there is no weight limit to serving in the government. There is no age limit to serving in the government. There is a competency limit. It's actually an amendment to the Constitution, and before that, it was part of common law and statutory law that if you get so decrepit, you can't do your job, even if you're a federal judge appointed for life, even if you're a Supreme Court justice appointed for life, you gotta go. See ya. Sorry, Grandpa, you can't drive anymore. You ran that Buick through the McDonald's one too many times. You destroyed the economy one too many times. You drove inflation up through the sky and started World War III one too many times. And I'm talking about the big guy himself. Hashtag Hunter Biden didn't kill himself. Joe Biden. Joe Biden has no clue where he is anymore. It's not like he was ever actually running the government to begin with. He's merely a puppet for the shadow government that managed to get rid of Donald Trump in a really sketchy election. But the same people who tried to use an amendment to the Constitution to remove Donald Trump, who is perfectly in charge of all of his faculties, whether you agree with him or not, you can't say he's dumb and you can't say he's demented, or at least you can't say he has dementia. Dementia versus demented. I don't think he's either. But you can't say he has dementia. You can't say the same thing about Biden. And I'm waiting for the comments. We always ask for them. I know it's been a year and a half since we were on because of Well, you know, when you get when you get when you get truth, when you get banned, it's because you're telling the truth. Why don't we remove these people from office? What job? Could you remain a truck driver if you didn't know where your truck was? Could you remain a school bus driver if you forgot about the kids and ran the bus into a freight train? Yet you can remain in the most powerful offices in our country, and you don't even know that the reporter you're talking to is not your granddaughter. Or you can't even figure out what country you're in. It's like a old, it's like an old rock and roll moment. Thank you, Toledo. You're in Boston, you jackass. Oh, well, at least those guys were just messed up on coke, you know. They weren't just gone. And with that, is this going to be a short? We're going to call this a short? A shart? Whatever. I'm Elvis Kennedy, and that was Real Bad News Live.